Hey everyone, welcome to Talkin' Toys, where we talk toys so you don't have to. Today we're going to be doing our first review on Super7's Ultimates line, Thundercats. The first figure we chose to go with is going to be Pumm-Ra. So as you see, we've got him completely laid out here. But before we go over all the aspects of the figure, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the packaging real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this stuff out of the way, including Pumm-Ra here. And let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So the first thing to note is that, like all Super 7 figures, they come with these really ugly mailers. It has a kind of a poor rendition of the Thundercats logo on there. It has the character's name, Pumm-Ra, and then of course it has Super 7's logo on it. When we turn it over to the back, we've just got a bunch of technical writing. We've got Super 7's logo, barcode. Again, just warnings for small parts. All of this is kind of normal when it comes to Super 7. Every figure I get from them tends to have this really ugly brown mailer, and this is the reason why I think this is. So as you look at the next piece of the packaging here, we actually get a much nicer box. Now granted, I have my thumbprints all over it, but we have this really great box that's presented to us. Shiny black background. The snakes are done in black, same gloss, and then of course we have that kind of foil red circle. We also have the Thundercats logo here, as well as the character's name, Pumm-Ra. We have a Super 7's logo. When we look at the top, if I can get out of the glare there, we've got Ultimates, and then of course if we turn it over to the back, we have a much larger rendition of Thundercats. So you can see we have the red down here for Pumm-Ra. So we take this top piece off. It's just the dust jacket for the main box. And again, we've got really nice Thundercats here, Pumm-Ra. We've got a windowed box here. At the top it says Ultimates. I've already taken the figure out, obviously, so can't really show you what it looked like in the packaging. But when we go to the back, we've got this artwork of Pumm-Ra with the claw shield, and we've got basically his we've basically got his kind of background story right here. So if you'd like to go through that, go ahead and let's do that. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way, and we'll get back to what it is you came here to see, and that's going to be this figure review. So, taking him out, he comes in a plastic tray initially in the box, and inside the box he comes with 4 extra hands, all kind of more grippy or kind of closed-handed. He comes with Sword of Omens in the dagger form, and that's actually got a wrap around the Eye of Thundera. We've got 2 different heads in addition, and we've got a communicator. So just to kind of get an idea here, let's go ahead and we'll set him here. So this is the actual main head that the figure is packaged with. It's kind of that open growl, kind of more angry, snarly kind of a head. The thing to note about the head is that the hair is more rubber, whereas the face sculpt is more plastic, and of course you got the teeth in there. It does have a ball joint hole for the head and neck. As you can change the heads out, they've got 2 different heads. We'll look at the other head here in just a second, and then I'll go ahead and do a trade out of the different heads. As for the hands, we've got basically 2 renditions. So we've got more of a straight up and down grip, and of course that's going to be for the Sword of Omens, and you're going to get it for both sides. Left and right have it. So you see here's the other kind of grip hand, and then when you look at the other hand, it's more diagonal, and that's just, I guess, really more for posing. But you also have not only the peg, but you have some wrist articulation. And it seemed to me, if I was looking at this right, you're going to have 2 different types of articulation. So on this particular hand, go ahead and see if I can get over here real quick and do this. You'll have up and down on the wrist. If I can get it. There you go. So basically up and down. And then on the other hands, it's going to be more, inside outside. And as I switch the hands out, we'll go ahead and review that a little bit closer. So you have that for both hands. And then you get this actual communicator. So this is the communicator that Pumm-Ra uses when he's at the cat's lair to speak to the mutants. Spoiler alert, we all should know this, but if we don't, Pumm-Ra is actually mumm-ra in disguise. So in order to talk to the mutants, he actually has to have a communicator. It's really, really nice. Kind of a blue metallic paint for this particular walkie-talkie, if you will. But we have this purple metallic, more shining metallic paint, not only for the centerpiece here, but for the knob on the side. And then we have some gold paint along the rim of the purple. The only thing that kind of bugged me a little bit about this, and let's see if we can actually show it off a little bit better, is that the paint apps weren't entirely perfect. So you can see we've got a little bit of a mess up right there. All in all, it is a little bit of a thicker item to hold, but as you can see, Pumm-Ra does come with open hands, and you can finagle the communicator into his hand and have him hold it, and you can actually kind of even move the fingers a little bit. I don't recommend moving the fingers too much. They do kind of bend out of shape, but as you can see, he can hold it with some relative ease, so that he's talking to the mutants. Now the next item that he comes with, actually of it is my two favorite items. This one's going to be the Sword of Omens, dagger form. As you can see, the handle and the blades are more of a metallic silver, whereas we get kind of a cloth plastic wrapped around the eye. As you can tell, the blade is very soft, and it can bend out of place. The only thing I disliked about this, and I'm just kind of griping, is that I feel like they could have done a wash on this just to kind of give it some more depth in the actual wrapping. But that's not going to make or break this particular figure for me. And then the next item is going to be the claw shield. I absolutely love this. This claw shield is actually different than the one that I've seen with the Lion-O that I've had in the past. And with that Lion-O, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult to tell, it used to be that he would have a peg, or the claw shield had a peg, and you just remove the hand and then peg the claw shield on. In this case, and we'll go ahead and do it with this particular figure, you would just remove his hand, which they just pull right off, and you go ahead and grab one of his gripping hands, and then it'll just clip right into place. Inside the claw shield, there is a little groove, just right there. You'd line it up with the thumb, and it just slides right into place, so that Pumm-Ra can actually just wear the claw shield, and it looks really nice. It actually, it's very nice in design. It's not really loose or anything. I mean, I know it kind of wiggles a little bit when I'm messing with it, but it sits in place. It doesn't fall off his hands. And overall, it looks really, really good. Now, the one thing about this particular claw shield and sword is that you really don't have the means to stick the sword into the claw shield like you would with Lion-O's claw shield. So that being said, that'd be the only drawback on this particular claw shield. But we can go ahead and remove his other hand here, and let's go ahead and grab this hand right here, and again, just clips right into place. The Sword of Omens will fit into his hand. Sometimes you kind of finagle it a little bit. There we go. And you can set him up and use his wrist articulation to hold the sword as you wish. Excuse me. Bring him back in here. So I've gone ahead and I'm going to get these hands out of the way because he's stepping on them. And I'm going to go ahead and just drop them as it is. So now we have our figure here for Pumm-Ra. The figure itself is just kind of a static action, well, not static action figure, but kind of the base mold for a lot of these Ultimates. This one actually comes with soft goods for his clothes, which I really appreciate because it adds a level of detail to this particular figure. You've got this back piece here, kind of feels like it should be more of a hood for him, and that's kind of how I have it set. In this hood, he does have a wire kind of coming through here so that it can hold into place as you put the extra cloth over his arm. It kind of has that Roman feel to him, kind of Roman design. But I really do like how they went ahead and put the effort in here, because they could have just molded this, and it would have been fine. But I think having this cloth is much better in the long run. So that being said, let's go ahead and remove his sword, and I'll just leave the claw shield on. So we'll go ahead and look at the head here. Again, you can take this particular head off, and when I do, we'll just take a closer look at it. I'll set that down. So this is the actual other head. So this one's the one that doesn't come on the figure when you get it. Much calmer face, a lot nicer. Again, hair is more rubber, face is more plastic. I do like and dig the paint apps on it. And then we go ahead and, as you can see, we've got the ball joint right here. Not a lot of room here. Once we put the head back on with the ball joint, we just line it up. And it takes a little bit of a push. So you can get your left and right movements as far as articulation goes. And you're not going to get much as far as up and down or, kind of left and right. It's not going to stay all that well. But at least you've got a little bit of head turn. For the rest of the articulation in his torso, you do have an ab crunch. You do have a waist swivel. Let me see if I can back this up a little bit and do that a little better. So you have your waist swivel. Excuse me. We'll remove this shoulder here. For the arms, you can get a full 360 turn. This shoulder is actually very tight for me. Just kind of how it showed up. But as you can see, I can turn it all the way around. Bring it up and out. Bring it in. We have a bicep turn. We have a bend at the elbow, but it is not 90 degrees. And then, of course, depending on the figure or which hand that you have installed, you'll have, wrist spin, and then you'll have your articulation to bend either in and out or up and down. Same thing goes for the other side. As you can see, this one kind of spins a little bit more freely. Again, we're not getting a full 90 degree on the elbow, but we are getting the bicep swivel. When we get in here and look at the torso, his trunks are rubber, and you can bring his hips up, or you can bring his thigh up, and you can bring it back a little bit. You can spin the thigh, and you can bring them out for the splits. The knee does have a turn at just above the calf, but you're not getting a full 90 degree bend. You are getting ankle tilt, and you are getting a bend at the ankle. His cloth goods, as you can see, they're coming apart on me right here. This is Velcroed, so you can put that on. And this right here is more cloth than really elasticy. It feels like it's got a little bit, but nothing that kind of feels like it's a rubber band or anything like that. And that covers the articulation for this particular figure. Let's go ahead and get our camera back up the way we need it. And that covers the figure for Pumm-Ra. Now, I don't recall, I've had a few figures in the 80s for Thundercats, but I don't recall that they actually ever did a Pumm-Ra figure. So this is the first time I've seen it, as far as I can remember. The thing I like about this, and I like about a lot of the Super 7 Ultimates for Thundercats, is that they pull a lot of little Easter eggs with these figures. So, you know, not only just getting the Sword of Omens, but getting the communicator are really pleasant treats, including the claw shield, because these are things you didn't have to add by any means, but they are really nice to have for this particular figure. It adds what I feel is either posability value or play value, and then of course having the extra hands always helps as well. 2 different heads is always nice depending on how you want to display your figure. And the other thing that comes with this figure is a third head. This one is actually a little bit bigger overall than this one. It's the same head, but this one's a little bit larger. And the reason being is that this is the head that will sit on mumm-ra. And when I do my mumm-ra figure review, I will actually attach this head to that figure and kind of show how that works. But it's just a much larger scale. I say much larger, but really when you look at it, it's just a little bit bigger, because mumm-ra is only like another inch and a half maybe taller than these figures. So like these kind of stand more closer to 6 inches, and mumm-ra is more like 7.5. So when we get to that figure, I'll go ahead and put him back up here. We'll do the head swap and show off the Pumm-Ra head at that time. So there we go. I'll go ahead and bring this in, and that actually takes us to the end of our review. So I want to thank everybody for joining us on this our first episode, and we want to invite you all to come back for our next episode. As we get our schedules down and our reviews up and running, we want to invite you to check out more of our reviews. As always, please go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Let us know what you liked about the review, what you'd like to see different, and you know, we'll answer everybody as we can. So thank you so much for your time. We hope you have a wonderful day.